talk about. I just want you to do your Barry White impression first.
Never, never gonna give you up. I'm never ever gonna stop. Not the way I feel about you. Girl, I just can't live without you. Whatever you want, go.
I think you've completely butchered the tune, but
You
top marks for
got
trying.
it.
I
Yeah, I
thought you
know.
were singing. I thought you were going to sing "Never Gonna Give You Up" to start with. That's what it
Yeah, I
sounded
thought you
like
might.
initially.
Never gonna give you. Oh God, it's horrid, isn't it?
Yeah, no, your voice actually sounds really good, and it's actually turning me on. So you're gonna have to, work on that a little bit. So, my Christmas was very nice, thank you. It was very nice and relaxed. It went very quick. Can't believe it's over already. But I'm filled with hope in my heart because Christmas will come around again very soon, and it's going to keep on coming until we're dead. So there'll just be so many more Christmases, and then we'll die.
Holidays are coming. Holidays are coming.
The CocaCola truck stopped off in my hometown before Christmas, and it was like, the Coca-Cola truck. It travels the country. It's obviously a marketing thing. Obviously, it's good advertising for Coke, but isn't this a nice Christmassy thing for people to do? And when it came into Bournemouth, there was absolute uproar, and there was like a massive protest outside it. And there was like this activist group like saying they were having to go at them because of the whole sugar content in Coca-Cola, but also because of all the waste they produce with their plastic bottles. So there's quite a lot of like anger from people, and people they were standing outside by the Coca-Cola truck, and they were giving out toothbrushes and little bottles of toothpaste. And it's just like, can't we just like have fun at this time of year? Can't we just enjoy things without being told that we're evil for enjoying it? I don't know.
Yeah, but they're not telling you that you're evil, are they? They're telling Coca-Cola that they're evil, which arguably they are.
How are they evil? Come on, let's have some real talk.
I mean, the plastic waste, the increase in childhood obesity thanks to them advertising drinks specifically at children.
They only advertise Coke Zero and Diet Coke now. No sugar.
Well, that's fine. They're great then, aren't they?
I'm on a diet, so I'll have a Diet Coke with my Big Mac with extra large fries. Another story for you over Christmas. The saddest part of my whole Christmas was that I went. They have the festive McFlurries at McDonald's.
Yeah,
they have like seasonal ones throughout the year, special ones, and the one they had at McDonald's over Christmas was the chocolate orange one. Now, I'm a big fan of chocolate orange. I do like the flavoring. It's very nice. So me and my partner, we made the journey not up the road. It's like a 10-minute car journey to McDonald's to get it. And we got into the queue in the drive-thru, big old sign saying ice cream machine not working, no McFlurries or milkshakes at the moment. And that's fine. But the problem was at this point, because we were right up to the box where you have to order and you talk into the box and tell them what you want, there was a queue of cars behind us, so we couldn't get out. And we didn't want anything else. So we were stuck in this McDonald's drive-thru queue for about 15 minutes. And we didn't order anything. And that was like a Christmas miracle. It was great.
How did you get out without ordering something?
We had to queue and wait for the queue to go.
Han.
And it was like the drive of shame, because we stopped outside the first window, obviously, where they take payment. And obviously we just sat there quietly and just had our window up because we weren't paying for anything. It was so awkward.
Mate, I'd have just ordered some chicken nuggets out of awkwardness.
Yeah, I should have done that, but I was so angry. I just drove forward. I drove forward the 2 meters in anger and realized my mistake. I couldn't get out, and yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good idea. Anyway, we are back after our Christmas break. Woo! It's been fun. I've still got my Father Christmas mug next to me, so Christmas is still here. Christmas is still alive in this household.
You love Christmas as well. Like I've said it before, but of all my friends, you are the one who goes the most mad for Christmas, the quickest.
I do like Christmas. I don't think I go as mad for it anymore. I have a little checklist in my head of things I like to do over Christmas. Like there's certain films I like to watch, there's certain shops I like to go to, certain things I like to bake. But yeah, I do enjoy a bit of Christmas time, and it was very fun. Have you watched Home? I texted you before Christmas, but you never replied. Have you watched Home Alone yet?
No, I haven't.
That is incredible. It's fair enough. Like, people don't watch films or can't, just don't choose not to. But how you've managed to avoid Home Alone after all these years is ridiculous. It's on every single year, and it's like.
But also, I watch one new Christmas film a year, and I did watch a new Christmas film this year.
What was it?
It was, and I'm not convinced you're going to like me for saying that I wasn't a huge fan. But after 10 plus years of release, Chris Pearson has finally sat down and watched Elf.
I knew you were going to say Elf. Now, I have respect for you, young man. Well, firstly, tell me what you didn't like about it.
So, like, it is funny, but because everyone's been going on for the last decade about how Elf is the funniest thing ever made, it like really tapers your hopes for it. And then I thought it was gonna be funnier than it was. But that whatever. What really annoys me is the fact that Will Ferrell is basically a child, like in in adult's clothing, but he's basically a child. And yet apparently it's okay for him and Zooey Deschanel to have a child together. That's not on. There's something weird going on there. Really not keen on that.
I like Zooey Deschanel as a blonde. I do like her as a blonde. It's good. Suits her. It's nice.
Great. Well, I'm sure to let her know.
We were talking about her.
Yeah, I know.
Dickhead. Yeah, I mean, with Elf, did you watch it on your own, or did you watch it with?
No, I watched it with Emma, she's quite into it.
Yeah, I mean, with Elf, I feel the enjoyment comes by watching it with others, so friends and family. I don't think you get much enjoyment watching it on your own. But I saw Elf in the cinema back in the day when I was very young, and I hated it. I thought it was rubbish when I first saw it in the cinema. Didn't laugh once. Found it boring. But then I sort of made a point of not watching it again because I didn't enjoy it in the cinema. Then about 10 years after, so it came out 2003, I think, or 2004, something like that. And I watched it about 10 years later, about 2 years ago, for the first time in 10 years. And I actually enjoyed it. It's not my favorite Christmas film, but I can see why people like it. There are some funny gags in it. The bit where he buys the lingerie for his dad was quite funny.
Yeah, that is really funny, that bit.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder as well whether people I think maybe I got the wrong impression because I thought people watched it all the time because it's funny, but maybe people watch it all the time because it's like a tradition. Because I remember when it used to be on E4 every year, didn't it? And then E4 said they weren't going to show it, and people went mad at them on Twitter and stuff. So maybe it's the kind of repetitive nature of sitting down to watch Elf every year. I mean, it was okay. It did make me laugh, but
What's your favorite Christmas film?
I like Arthur Christmas a lot. I think that's a really good film, and I know you love that one too.
Good shout. Our Boys and Aardman, very good.
I don't know what my favorite one is. I like The Snowman and the Snow Dog, but that probably doesn't count, does it?
Snowman and Snow Dog, like the opening 5 minutes is just has me in bits. It's so sad. It's
very good.
It's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've even got the Snow Dog with me right now. Oh boy.
Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? I love the Snow Dog.
Well, I think you're actually forgetting the best Christmas film ever made. Is Jingle All The Way with my boy Arnold.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, my bad.
I had my annual viewing of that, and honestly, I was looking on Reddit over Christmas, and someone put a post saying how they've never seen it before, and they watched it for the first time, and they couldn't believe they hadn't seen it. And the amount of people replying saying it's their favorite Christmas film, they have annual viewings, they watch it throughout the year. Honestly, there is a massive cult following for Jingle All The Way. And it's such a great quotable film. It's brilliant. If you've not seen Jingle All The Way, you need to watch it. I'm gonna deck your halls, bub. Or what else is there? Put that cookie down now.
Yeah, you love Put That Cookie Down. You say that all the time.
It's good. Yeah, I say it even when I'm having sex. Right. So, Chris, let's get on to some handheld gaming news. So, did you get anything gaming related for Christmas? That's the big question we've got here.
I did actually. I received a couple of bits, but the big one is a Switch game called Troll and I. Have you heard of Troll and I?
I have not. I'm going to Google it right now.
So I had heard of Troll and I because on the Nintendo Switch subreddit, someone posted saying that it was. I believe what their post said was, "Don't buy Troll and I. It's a con and a broken mess," or something like that.
Yeah, the reviews are not kind.
Here's the thing, Colin. Right, and it's once again, it's a question of expectations. Is that I opened it and I'd kind of heard I'd heard bad things, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure how into this I'm going to be. But it is actually obviously it's not it's not Super Mario Odyssey. But it's not nearly half as bad as people would lead you to believe. It's actually quite sweet. I mean, the basic crux of the story is You play as Otto, who's this young gentleman with dreadlocks. And then it's kind of like Scandinavian. Everyone speak. It sort of has a very like Scandi, Danish, Norwegian feel to it. On this troll, and you and the troll are trying to help each other because there's all these like hunters and poachers in the woods. Or, I mean, it's slightly like it can be a bit hard to control. It can be a bit frustrating, but the actual core gameplay is really fun. The way you switch between Otto and the troll does all the kind of heavy attacks, whereas Otto is, you know, quite nimble and quite stealthy. And there's puzzles where one of you has to play as Otto. Like you have to move Otto to a certain bit, and then have to bring Troll across, then bring Otto across. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a 10 out of 10, but I would, you know, I'd give it like a strong 6. I'm quite enjoying it so far.
Is it similar to The Last Guardian with that whole, you know?
I never played Last Guardian, but I suspect it's quite similar. I mean, the only thing I would say is that I got stuck on one of the very early loading screens. It just wouldn't ever get through it. Right. And I Googled, and I tried about 3 or 4 times, and I Googled it in the end. And what was quite interesting was they said, and this came from the developers, they were like, other people are having this issue too. What you need to do is turn off your Switch properly rather than just closing the app and going back in, because apparently it was to do with the memory, like the RAM software of the Switch. So I did that and it worked fine. So yeah, I mean, like I don't know how much it costs, obviously it was a present, but I would imagine like I probably wouldn't spend £50 on it. But you know, if you've got like 15 quid or something and you fancy trying something a bit different, a bit more indie, a bit less, you know, a bit less polished, like it's definitely worth checking out. And I haven't tried the co-op yet, but there's a co-op mode where one of you plays as the troll and one of you plays as the boy. I haven't tried that yet, but that might be quite fun as well. So that's an interesting little title.
Well, I'll just give you a quick review here of The Troll and I. This is from Metacritic. Someone has said, this game feels like it was thrown together over the course of a few months by a dev team that just didn't care. And how it won the few words it did at E3 last year is beyond me. So there you go.
Yeah, like I totally get that, but I think it's quite enjoyable. I think it's quite fun.
One last review here from CG Magazine. I wish I could be more kind to this game, considering it's an indie title with big ambitions, but considering Horizon Zero Dawn and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild came out only a few weeks ago, and our similar Troll and I is trying to be those games, there's really no excusing it. So there you go. There you go. But I'm glad you enjoyed. I guess it's, you know, the fact you knew that the reviews were bad going in probably helped, because then you're, you know.
Yeah, your expectations get measured, don't they? It's so, and like this year, one of my resolutions is to just try and avoid reviews of things and take things on their own merit, because so much at the end of last year, it was like, oh, Star Wars is going to be really good. And then you go and see it and you're like, oh, I'm not that fussed for it. And then, oh, Pitch Perfect is really bad. Oh, actually, I really enjoyed it. Like,
did you enjoy Pitch Perfect 3?
I did, yeah. I thought it was funny and I thought it was sweet and I thought it was like, it was good and worth watching. And if you like that series, then you'll like seeing those characters together. But it's just interesting, isn't it, how much of a difference it makes when you've heard what other people think. It just immediately gives you a bar to set things against.
Pitch Perfect 3 strains to recapture the magic that helped the original Spawner franchise, but ends up sending this increasingly unnecessary trilogy out on a low note. There you go. Reviews won't kind of either.
Yeah, you know, whatever. It's fine. Life goes on.
The first one was good. I've not seen the second or third one. Anyway, well, glad you enjoyed it. That's the main thing.
Yeah. I've been playing lots of things on Switch, actually, but I think you need to make your announcement first.
Well, firstly, talking of low reviews and ignoring reviews and just, you know, trying things for yourself, have you seen the film Greatest Showman yet?
No, and I saw your tweet about it. I'm really keen to see it because I love your taste in musicals. You've got good taste.
Now, I'm not going to lie, it's very early on, but I would say it's already my favorite film of the year. I'm not even joking. I saw it at the end of last year. It was absolutely incredible. If you like a good musical, then I think you do like you like Hamilton and things like that.
I saw Hamilton last weekend.
Oh, we'll get onto that in a minute. Honestly, The Greatest Showman, the songs in The Greatest Showman are absolutely fantastic. Now, the reason why people don't like it is the whole film, just very briefly, is about P.T. Barnum, the guy who has had a circus for a long time. He created what we know as a circus now, pretty much invented the whole idea of show business and putting on a show and things like that. People don't like it because it's not a biopic of his life, and he was quite controversial when he was alive. It's not a biopic; it's a musical. It takes inspiration from his story, but it's not like a historically, factually correct story. It's just a musical. So, the bloody reviewers need to go off their high horses, accept it for all it is. The music, the choreography, the music, the songs are absolutely incredible. I've not been able to stop listening to the soundtrack. And obviously Hugh Jackman, he's got an amazing set of pipes on him. He can bang out a tune like anyone, all the best of them. It's so good. I'd recommend watching it. Chris, you need to watch it, and everyone needs to see it. It's so good. It's over the top. It's ridiculous, but it's just so darn good. And Zac Efron is amazing in it as well. And that's all I'll say on that. How's Hamilton?
Hamilton is so good, Colin. It is so good. And I thought it couldn't live up to my expectations because I've listened to the original Broadway cast CD so many times, but it is, honest to God, it is incredible.
Exactly the same
it's
as
so good.
Is it not? It's not the same cast, is it? It's all new cast.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same cast.
They wouldn't get married,
and they've changed like a little bit of the lyrics, but it is so good. The choreography is astounding. It's amazing the stuff they managed to do, and the stage and the set design and the singing and the songs. It's just wonderful. Yeah, I loved it. I really loved it.
Good. That's brilliant. Anyway, let's talk about some gaming stuff because we're not talking about gaming stuff. I keep talking about other stuff. Right. So, Chris, I got a Nintendo Switch. Woo!
Congratulations! Welcome up.
So,
what was your deal like? Because you were trying to find a deal, weren't you?
Well, I didn't get a deal in the end. Basically, what happened is I didn't get one for Christmas. I didn't expect to get one for Christmas because I didn't want people to spend that much on me. Because I thought, I'll spark myself. It's been a long time since I bought a game console myself. I think the last game console I actually bought for myself was the Xbox 360 Elite. Do you remember when that came out, the black one?
Yeah.
I traded in my old Xbox to go towards the new one, and that was the last time I got one myself. My Vita was bought for me. My Xbox One was bought for me as well. So it's actually quite exciting. This is quite a nice feeling when you buy a console yourself because, I don't know, it's weird. It feels like you've earned it, like you've obviously worked towards buying it. So I didn't get a deal in the end. I just bought the console on its own without any games. And my reason for doing that is because my partner's sister, she got a Switch for Christmas as well, and she got given 5 games. And my logic is I can just nab them off her when she's bored of them.
Oh, nice. What did she get?
She got all the good ones. She got Mario Odyssey. She got Mario Kart. Oh, crap. What were the other 3? I've played. Oh, my God. My mind's gone blank. Mario Kart was the main one we were playing. It's got Splatoon. That was another one that she got. I know you're a big fan of that. She didn't like it at all. Was not a fan.
Well, borrow it off her and we can play together.
And oh crap, I can't remember the other 2 ones, but the main ones were Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart. And I played both of those too. And Mario Kart was a lot of fun. It was over Christmas. We had 4 JoyCons because he bought an extra 2 JoyCons. Her stepdad bought it. Her dad bought it for her. And we were all playing that. It's just a lot of fun. It's so fun. It's really good in the big group Mario Kart. But the biggest, not really surprised, but I was actually quite surprised at how much I really enjoyed it, was Super Mario Odyssey. That is a cracking game. That is so much fun. Very addictive as well. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So playing those games on the Switch and seeing how it all worked and, the amazing the screen and the touchscreen mode and not touchscreen, the handheld mode and when it's docked in for TV playing. I thought, you know what, that's it, I've got to get it. And then a few days after Christmas, I went to my local supermarket and bought one. And that's how it happened.
Nice.
And, I got the one with the blue and red JoyCons, which I'm very pleased with. And obviously I had no games to start with. The first thing a few things to note about the Switch. I really enjoy it. It's a lovely piece of kit. It's really nice to hold. I've only played it in handheld mode at the moment. I've not actually played it on the telly yet. And I'm really enjoying that. It works really well. I just wish there was more customization options on the home screen. It just feels very bland, very boring. There's just not much there.
See, I agree with you, but I think that's a purposeful decision that they've made because they want you to just they want to make it just about the games, and they don't want to make it because on the 3DS one, on the 3DS home screen, you can do all this stupid shit with badges and decorating things, and it's distracting. Whereas on Switch, I think they're very much wanting to be put your game in and play it. The thing that I wish they did on the Switch home screen, it really annoys me that you can't. If you've got more titles than fit on the screen, you can't have like 2 layers.
Yeah,
and that's really annoying. You have to scroll through from left to right. Excuse me, my voice.
Yeah,
that's quite frustrating.
I'd have to actually buy enough games to do that, but yeah, I can imagine that's quite annoying. I had some issues with the connecting to the store as well when I first got it. I kept getting error messages. I couldn't even load up the store. It was really frustrating.
Yeah.
I think I've sorted that now as a DNS issue. I think so. I managed to resolve that. But the game I did buy, I had this in my mind and my heart. As soon as I got the Switch, I bought Rocket League. For £15, and I've been playing that, and it's amazing. It's just a great game. It's just such a fun game. I am amazed at how well the online how well it plays online. To be honest with you, I played a couple of games online a few days ago now, and I experienced no lag whatsoever, no issues with frame rate. It was just seamless, perfect game. It was a really good game. I think it was like 5-4 or something. It was just a lot of fun. It's just such an addictive game. It feels so right on Nintendo Switch, and I imagine even when it's being played on the big screen, it's amazing as well. So the big question is, when are me and you going to play against each other? Because I think that needs to happen pretty soon.
I mean, I'm just saying we could play after this podcast is done.
Well, that's what we're going to do then. We are going to do this. Yes, definitely. So I'm loving Rocket League. I've also been, I'll just quickly do a review. I've been playing Xenoraid, which is from 10 Tons. Now, you may recognize the name Xenoraid because I have reviewed it before when it released on PlayStation Vita. It's a space game. It's, as 10 Tons do a lot, it's level-based, and you're a spaceship and you're flying through space. There's an alien race, and it's just loads of aliens appear on screen, loads of ships. You've got to shoot them down. And as you progress through, it gets harder and harder. You have 4 ships you can choose from whilst you're in a level. Once they've all been destroyed, the game's over, basically. You can upgrade your ship. You can put new bits of tech on it as you get more coins when you complete levels. It's a great game. Not much really to say. I mean, it's exactly like the PlayStation Vita version, except on a slightly bigger screen. It plays really well on Switch. It's a great game. The only thing that I'm a bit miffed about is there's no touchscreen capability on it. And that's not a problem when you're actually playing the game itself. You're in a level. But when you're trying to upgrade your ship or add new bits to it, it would be nice to be able to touch the screen, because there's lots of options of things that you can put your money towards to upgrade your ship. And rather than like being able to tap one on the touchscreen, you have to scroll through them, which is, a bit annoying. But apart from that, it works really well. It plays really well, and it's just a great, fun game. And it's quite cheap as well. I don't know what the full price is, but I know it's reasonably cheap. So if you're looking for a pick up and play, a game to play on the go, then I'll definitely recommend Xenoraid, because it's a lot of fun. It's a very good one. There's an interesting story, actually. It's about these aliens and why they're attacking, but I won't say anything more about that. So that's been a lot of fun. So I've just been playing the 2 games so far, and I want to purchase some more. I really want Skyrim. Now, that's the game I want next, is Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim is dope.
Never played Skyrim, and I think this is the perfect opportunity, because now I can play it on the go, which is like amazing. And you had started playing Skyrim last time.
Yeah, I've put a lot of hours into Skyrim. I think I'm probably on about 30 hours, something like that. I like it a lot. It feels really good on the Switch, especially if you play with the JoyCons off and one in each hand. The motion controls are okay, but it just feels so good. It's so nice being able to play it on the go. And I'd be interested as well, because I've sent Colin a little care package, because I just want to look after him.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's going to get dropped off by a little helicopter and a parachute, and he'll land outside my flat. That'd be great.
Well, it's your reward for killing 25 people in a row.
Package inbound. Yeah,
and I've put in Breath of the Wild for you to have a go with as well. So it'd be interesting to know what you make of that.
Thank you very much for. You talk about that off air, actually, but thank you for doing that. I'm very intrigued to try it to see how it. Oh, actually, I completely forgot. Away from the world of handheld gaming, I actually got 3 games for my Xbox. I got Battlefront 2, which I said I didn't want, but it's still bought for me anyway, so I feel dirty with that. I got
achievement when you open that one. Am I right?
I just want to play as Darth Vader. And then I got FIFA 18, because I always get FIFAs every other year. So last one I had was FIFA 16. Now I've got FIFA 18, which is, quick review, it's exactly the same as the last one. There's a campaign mode again. The journey continues, so I'll be trying that at some point. But the online just feels the same as it always has. I lost 4-1 in my first game, and I won 4-1 in my second game. So
nice.
There you go. I've also got Call of Duty World War II, which I'm really, really enjoying. I've not played online yet. I've just been focusing on the campaign. I like to finish the campaigns for COD before going online. And I'm really enjoying it. Good cast of characters. There's not some big overriding plot like the previous COD game set in the future where there's some big evil person a corrupt person trying to take over the world. It's just, there's not really a story to it. It's just the whole focus is on your team. So the character you play as and your team, how you connect with these people. Obviously, it's set in World War II. Obviously, the name is a bit of a giveaway there, but it's really interesting how they've done it. Focusing on the characters rather than the story, and it's just a lot of fun. It's the same old Call of Duty you know and love, really, and it's good that they've gone back to World War II. It's a very interesting setting, and the opening of the game was really, really quite something. It was the D-Day landings was where it starts. That's the first part of the game. And I know they've tackled that before in a previous Call of Duty game. I think it was the Big Red one or something, like one of the older ones, COD 2 or 3 or something. But yeah, you get a real sense of the grand scale of the D-Day landings now, obviously with the improved technology that there is. It looks amazing. It's really quite haunting. It's loud. It's like bullets flying everywhere. It's quite something. It's really well done, and it's really good, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really interested to keep playing the campaign, to be honest. So yeah, that's games I got for my Xbox. I do need to try Battlefront 2. I want to give a proper review on that and see what the progression system is actually like now. But we'll see. Anyway, that's the games I got. So what should we talk about now? We've talked about Switch.
Colin, have one other game to talk about, and kind of annoyingly actually, because it's been out a little while, but we were sent a code to review a game called Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King for Switch.
Yeah.
Problem was the embargo lifted the day after it came out. So I've been playing it. It's break. I've been playing that. It's made by it's published by FDG Entertainment, who are the same people who published Oceanhorn.
Oh yes,
I think it's a different developer, but the same publisher. Anyway, so it's a top-down 2D 16-bit action RPG is the wrong word. More of an action adventure game, really. It is very, very blazingly similar to The Legend of Zelda 2, which I don't know if you ever played Zelda 2, Colin.
Nope.
To the Past, it's called, and it's incredibly similar, but I think what they do really well is they update that style of game for a modern audience. So, for example, a touch I really like is the game starts and you've got two young children and a grandfather, and their grandfather is telling them stories from a storybook. And one of the stories that the kids want to hear is of is about the main character of the actual game that you play as, Lily, she's a Knight of the Rose. And it's a very similar setup, but every time you load up the game, you get a little reminder with the granddad saying like, "Oh, where were we in the story?" And the kids are like, "Oh, we were just about to find out about this thing." And it's like a really nice way of reminding you of your objectives, because in Legend of Zelda 2, you don't really have that. It's a very open map, and you have to kind of remember what you're doing. The other thing I like about it as well is that the story, because the grandfather is telling the story to a boy and a girl, the story adapts based on choices that you make. So you'll get to a certain bit, and the girl will say like, "Oh, what happens next?" And the grand will be like, "Well, Lily ran into some villains." And the boy will be like, "Oh, I hope the villains were mummies." And the girl will be like, "No, I hope the villains were pirates," or whatever. And then you get to kind of choose. So it's kind of it's quite interesting the design choices that they've made there. Yeah, I've not had as much time to put into it as I want, but it is really charming, and it's very kind of sweet game. And if anyone, until virtual console was a thing, if you want to go back and recreate that Link to the Past feeling on the go, it is a really good title. I'd recommend checking it out. Music's very good, gameplay is very simple. There's a nice a big map to explore with lots going on, and you kind of find things and you sort of clock, "Oh, I know I'm gonna have to come back here later." Yeah, it's good. It's called Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King, and I think it's $15. I guess it's probably about £12-13.
Nice. Sounds good. Sounds like a lot of fun. Really interesting to
Yeah.
throw 'em in there. So yeah, I mean, I do need to look for more games to play on my Switch.
What have you been playing on your mobile?
On my mobile, I did want to quickly mention this game. It's not one that I've not much to say on it really. It's called Twisty Road, and it's by the same developer as Fight List. Voodoo again appearing, and it's a very simple game. You're on a track. There's a ball. You click left. You hit the left side of the screen to go left. You tap the right side to go right. The path winds round. It's all twisty. You've got to try and keep your ball on this track. But if you fall off the track, because you're going downwards, you can still stay alive if you fall off by landing back on the track lower down. And the trick to the game is to get more points, you've got to get further down this ladder, this track, sorry. So if you fall off at the beginning on, as you're about to go through gate 1, you fall down, you skip a load of the track, and then you end up near gate 15. And then by going through gate 15, you get 15 points. So the trick is to know when to jump off the track and when to stay on the track, because when you fall off the track, you've only got about 5 seconds to land back on the track before it's game over. So it's knowing when to go off the track or when to stay on and keep going for a bit longer. It's a really interesting idea, and it's actually really, really addictive and fun. It's free to download. It's not too bad as a free game. There are obviously quite a few ads when you die, but it's a lot of fun, and you'll find yourself coming back to it again and again and again. It's called Twisty Road, and it's out on iOS, and I'd imagine it's probably going to be on Android as well. So I'd definitely recommend that if you're looking for a very quick game to pick up and just to waste some time with.
A mobile game that I've been playing that I wanted to mention because, Colin, I actually invited you to play this and you ignored my invite, is a game which the thing is, it's not very good at the moment, but I think in a month's time it's going to be really good. And it's a game called Guess Friends. Now, so this is it primarily uses Facebook, but you actually play with it on your phone. And basically, it's Guess Who, but instead of it being these generic cartoon faces, it's your mutual Facebook friends. So if me and Colin played a round of it, you would have pictures of people that we both know as the people you have to choose between. And you ask questions like, I mean, obviously, you can be like, is this, a chap or a lady? Is it over or under 20 years old? But if the potential is endless, because if it's the person, would you describe a knobhead, that sort of thing. So it's called Guess Friends. It's kind of glitchy. It's not as good as, but I think, and that could be a really good game. Guess Who, but with your Facebook friends. That is such a good sell.
Yeah, is it Guess Friends a guessing game? Yeah, I'm just downloading it now, so we'll see what this is like. That's an interesting idea. I used to really like Guess Who back in the day. I used to play it quite a lot, the old board game.
You'll love this.
Yeah, but it's really annoying because you did that thing where you slapped it shut to close them all, then you slapped it up again to get them all up again, and then some of them would fall out, and you'd have to pick them up and put them the right way. And it's very annoying. But I guess that takes out all those problems, makes it much easier.
Yeah, and I think it will be really. It adds a whole other element to it.
I think it sounds great.
I think you sound great. Colin, what's the other news? What's happening in PlayStation Plus world?
Well, not much really, but the one bit of news I wanted to talk about is January's PlayStation Plus game. So if you are a PS Plus subscriber for all the PlayStation devices, for PlayStation Vita, you get 2 games for free. So both of these games I have not played, so I'm going to read them out, and then we'll do a quick old Google and find out more about them. So the first one is Uncanny Valley. Vaguely remember this. I think this is a story-driven, visual novel sort of thing, maybe. Let's have a look. I think I vaguely remember when this was released. It's not got very good reviews on PS4. Oh, no, I don't recognize this. It looks a bit like the game Home, which was the indie game, a horror game that came out a couple of years ago. Well, this is a bit creepy. It looks like you're a police officer and you're walking around this abandoned... there's dead bodies and stuff. That's quite creepy. So Uncanny Valley, check that out. That's free if you've got PlayStation Plus. And the other game is called Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness. So let's have a look at this one. Let's see how this one looks. So, oh yes, I remember this. This is a Japanese visual novel game, and you're like a police officer, and it's crimes, and it's dead bodies and stuff. So quite a dark term for the PlayStation Plus for Vita this week. So if you want to play scary games, as Uncanny Valley, or interesting story-driven games, as Psycho Pass, Mandatory Happiness. And obviously there's quite a few games for PS3 and PS4, but we don't care about those. So yeah, there you go. They are free on PlayStation Plus this month for January if you are a PlayStation Plus subscriber. Chris, what else? Have you got anything for me? Have you got anything you want to tell me?
Well, I've been reading an article, Colin.
Have you really?
And it's about the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if you've heard of this console, the Nintendo Switch. Are you aware of it?
Heard rumors. I've heard titterings about it.
So places are reporting, including, I'm getting this info from Polygon, but other places are reporting it as well, that according to Nintendo, that's a big, inverted commas. According to Nintendo, the Switch has become the fastest selling console in US history.
Wow.
This is from their website. Nintendo has announced that its portable console hybrid is now the fastest selling console in US history, according to its own internal sales estimates. It's even beating the original Wii in the United States. In 10 months, it sold more than 4.8 million units in the US, according to Nintendo's sale figures. That's the highest total for first 10 months of any home video game system in US history, surpassing Nintendo's own Wii system. And this is, partly because Super Mario Odyssey and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is huge. I mean, it's come from Nintendo, so you can probably take it with not necessarily a grain of salt, but they're going to be looking at certain statistics to get a good headline out of it. But this thing is so popular, and I can't believe how many of my friends are posting that they got one for Christmas as well. I kind of thought, I don't know. I think it's really good that the system seems to have gone mainstream and not niche. Because the Wii was mainstream and the Wii U was niche. So it's nice having people pick up and playing it again. And so many of my friends are talking about how good Mario is or Kart or all of these titles. Yeah, big stats from them.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing how popular it is. I mean, I was worried when I went to get mine the other day that it'd be sold out, but I know on Amazon they'd sold out Switches when I last looked over Christmas. They didn't have any. So
I wonder if they've got some now. Actually,
it's nice that it's popular, and I just hope that we're going to get more. I think that there's a Nintendo Direct coming up soon, isn't there? For January.
There's rumored to be one, because Amazon actually there was some placeholder pages put up on Amazon that were then taken down for I think it was called unannounced Switch title. So I expect we'll see some announcements, and there's rumored to be one I think coming up on the 11th, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested now to see what other games are going to be coming out. I mean, there's quite a few at the moment, but do you think we'll get any more ports, or do we'll get any new IPs, or do you reckon it'll be just?
I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? I think this will be the Nintendo Direct where they announce what they're doing with Smash. So if they are porting the Wii U title over, I think if they announce it any later than this January, it's going to look a bit odd. Do you know what I mean? If it takes more than a year for them to port it, where Mario Kart came out so quick. I expect we'll get hopefully some Smash info, maybe some Animal Crossing and Pokemon info as well. Probably a lot of Bayonetta stuff as well, because Bayonetta 3. We'll see what happens, I guess.
This is the best time to do it, with obviously so many people owning a Switch now after Christmas. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's you want people to feel like their purchases are justified, don't you? Because if they bought a Switch or bought someone a Switch for Christmas, then it's so good to buy it and be 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, whatever it is, to have Nintendo come and say, hey, good news, this is going to be the year of this, and we're going to have this, this, and this. That's going to feel really positive for them. I wonder whether there'll be some there's rumors of some more Rockstar ports to come.
Oh,
I can't see. I mean, people seem to want GTA 5. I can't see that happening, but I can maybe see that.
No, you know what it's going to be. You know what it's going to be. The table tennis game they did.
Table tennis game.
Gotta be.
Or what's the other? Bully was a good one. That's Rockstar, wasn't it?
Would Nintendo want that sort of game on their platform though?
Well, they've got LA Noire and Doom, which are both fairly.
Well, yeah, Doom, I guess. LA Noire is just like a crime detective. Yeah, I mean, I really like this whole Nintendo Rockstar team up. It's good. Let's look at Rockstar's games and see what else they could bring.
And make sure you search Rockstar, not Rocksteady, because every time you get those wrong and we have people tell us off, I'll tell you if I get it right.
Oh, wouldn't it be great having a Batman game on Switch? That'd be good.
Don't even. Maybe Injustice would come across. That's not unreasonable.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout. Right, Rockstar. Okay, here we go. So, what about the new Red Dead?
No.
Oh,
it's gonna be. That's too. The thing is, I don't think GTA 5 is going to come across because the online on GTA is ridiculous, and I can't see the Switch being able to properly support it. Maybe Red Dead, the old one. Maybe
Red Dead Redemption,
but not the online, the single player. But I would love to play Red Dead Redemption again. We've talked about it on the show before. That game is incredible. I'd love to.
I didn't finish it. I played like an hour of it and got a bit bored. I would like to go back at some point, but I don't think I'd go back to it on Xbox. So if it was to release on Switch, I would be very interested. I'm just looking at the other games they've got here. The table tennis one, Bully, as we said. Manhunt. No, I don't think they've released Manhunt. I think that's a bit too far. Nintendo.
Manhunt was quite trickily received, wasn't it?
Yeah, people weren't too keen. Austin Powers Oh Behave. The hell is that?
Can't wait to play Austin Powers Oh Behave, baby.
Brilliant. Oh Behave. Red Dead Warriors, Bully. Yes, all the games. I mean, GTA would be the most obvious one, I guess, but without the online functionality, maybe. But then that's a big part of GTA, especially the latest one. So that'd be interesting. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, as I said, I like this team up between these two. It just seems bizarre. I would never have thought before that these two developers, these two companies would be teaming up for things like this. It's just because, Nintendo have always been like the family-friendly sort of gaming on the most part, for like games for families and nothing too violent. But Rockstar just like one of those companies where all their games like have a lot of naked people and sex and the drugs and the violence and the torture. That's interesting.
I wonder though for Nintendo, like if they can get other companies to come in and make the adult rated games and they can focus on doing the family stuff.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, it makes sense for them to appeal to a wide audience, because obviously they've got their core fan base and the younger audience with the Marios and the party games. But it'd be good to maybe attract a more, well, I don't like to use the term more serious gamer, but a more mature gamer, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, which is what they've done with LA Noire. I think like the game Sleeping Dogs, that on Switch.
Oh yeah, I was thinking in terms of a Wii U port, I'd quite like the Wonderful 101 to come across to Switch.
What's that?
That was a game made by what are they called? Platinum. I think it's Platinum Games. And it was like a puzzler where you had loads of different characters in a city, and you're trying to get your way across there. But there wasn't actually 101 of them, but they all kind of teamed up. It was sort of like Beautiful Joe type style. Came out in 2013, and they had to like you might get them all to combine to make like a car or a fist or something. It was fairly silly, but it was really good fun.
It's very colourful. I've never heard of this. Interesting. Anyway, let's move on then. So, Chris, we have a segment on this podcast called Group Chat where we put a topic out to our dear listeners. We put the question to each other, and then we go away for a week. We have a think, and we report back with our findings and give our opinions on the topic. So, Chris, what is our topic for this week, for next week's podcast?
So here's the thing, right? Colin's just bought a Switch, and he's got Zelda on the way. He's got Rocket League. He's probably going to pick up Mario Odyssey after next payday. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But what I want people to suggest is I would like some good under the radar titles for dear Colin to check out. So I'm thinking like things that are on the eShop that for you are a must play that maybe aren't necessarily getting the talk that they deserve. The kind of £15 titles, not your Mario Karts, not your Mario Odyssey, but your kind of under the radar titles. We want some recommendations so that Colin can have a browse and see what he wants to play.
That would be really handy, people. So if you've got any suggestions, please let us know. And you can let us know in so many different ways. You can tweet us at Handheld Podcast. You can email heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Google Hangouts. We are everywhere. We're on YouTube. Just search Heroes of Handheld. You will find us. You can also go to heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com. That's our website. And go to the Contact Us section and send your thoughts over there as well. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you got for Christmas as well. If you got a Switch, let us know what you've bought and what you've been playing. If you've got any other games for a 3DS or Vita, let us know your thoughts on that as well. Or if you've just been playing a really addictive mobile game this week, let us know. Let us know what you've been doing over Christmas. Please do. I think that's it, Chris. Have you got anything else? Is there anything else you want to lay on the line for me? Anything else you want to say?
Not really, because my voice is like it's zero at this point.
Yeah, you're turning slowly into Darth Vader, maybe even Mufasa. Getting quicker. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Well, not the same time. It'll be a day earlier because no, we won't be. Oh, we'll tweet. Lol. Anyway, we will see you next week at some point in some form. Have a great week, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.